Hello. I'm going to see how this pans out, and if no one turns up, then I'm going to switch off and go downstairs and make tea. Slightly less spontaneous live stream than the one before. The last one I genuinely did just think, you know what, I'm going to do a live stream, and it was really, really enjoyable. That was 8 days ago, um, at 2:30 in the afternoon. So 5 past 5 on a Monday might not work out very well. Although one person's turned up. It's Lee. How are you, Lee? It's just us two at the moment. I hope you're. Oh, no, it's three people, and there are three names that I recognise, which is brilliant. Because you know what, this is uh, the main reason why I started the live stream today is because I'm feeling pretty down, and it's nice to see my friends. Um, because I feel like I'm going mad with everything that's going on in the world and trying to maintain a job. So I'm feeling a bit sorry for myself. I know I've got it a lot better than most people, but it's a dangerous game comparing your misery with other people's misery, because then that might invalidate your own misery. And then you feel at fault for doing that, for playing that comparison game. You know what I mean? I think. Juju's here as well. Cool. I hope you're all well. What time is it where you are? I'm guessing you're not all from the UK or in the UK. Sorry about the state of me, by the way. I haven't shaved, as you can see. I have a spot on my nose, and I am as vain as ever. Although I've not really done much about my appearance, so that would suggest that I'm not that vain. I'm just being a sloth. Although not that much of a sloth, because I've made the effort to switch on the laptop. I even did a thumbnail for this, because I do enjoy the thumbnails. 8 past 11. Um, wow. So hang on. Oh, we've put our clocks forward. It's messed it all up. I'm guessing you're in the States, Scott. I should know that by now. Mother's Day. Late diagnosis, autism spectrum difference. Looking back over childhood, lots of introspection and uncomfortable emotions. Yeah, Lee, I remember you commenting on one of my videos not too long ago. I really felt what you were saying. Um, yeah. And I got myself into bother with Mother's Day yesterday. I saw something online and I was like, oh my word, it's Mother's Day. And this was like 7 p.m. And I thought, well, do I message my mum? Whoops, haven't messaged her all day. And then I spoke with my dad on the phone on FaceTime, and he was like, "Oh, if you're in a bit of a bind there, because if you don't say anything, then that suggests you've forgotten completely. But if you do send a message at 7:30, then or 8 o'clock, then that's going to look bad as well." So it was a lose-lose situation, as so many situations are in my self-pitying existence. So I sent her a message saying, in brackets at the end, "Sorry," and she said this morning, "That's okay." In imaginary brackets, "I won't hold it against you, my least favorite son." She's got three boys. Um, it's 7 past 6 in the Netherlands, so you've put your clocks forward as well, I'm guessing. Oh, I don't understand it. Lydia only got dressed 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, that's a long time ago. You could do loads in 2 hours. There's 10 people here. Incredible. Lee, oof. I think, yeah, you were saying that about my faux pas, Mother's Day faux pas. Yeah. Minnesota, I remember he saying that. Hi PF Ballman, Magpies, not quite sure what the reference relates to. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna only be hanging around for about an hour because I've got to then. Well, I've realised I put myself in the same situation as last time I did this when I logged on and realised I've got to feed a family. Although my son's away at the moment, so I've only got two people as well as myself to feed. So I'm only going to be here for about an hour, just in case you're thinking, "Oh no, I've got to be in for the long haul." Not that I would hold you to that. You can disappear at any moment, as you well know already. Um, but yeah, if you are wondering, worrying whether I might be here for 3.5 hours, or I think my record is almost 5 hours, yeah, no need to worry. I'll be gone in about an hour. Do I cook? I don't cook. I make food slightly warmer than it was before I bought it. So yeah, that was a convoluted way of saying I heat up food. I think cooking suggests a level of skill. There's no cooking skill. I just warm food up and make it slightly edible. Yeah, that's what I do. 7 days a week. Although I'm going away, I'm gonna meet up with my dad on Sunday. I'm gonna be away for 3 days, and the one thing I look forward to more than anything when I go away is food, because I don't have to cook, and obviously the tasty food. But yeah, I just resent the cooking or the warming food up that I do. I've openly, thought aloud in front of my wife, saying, "I really think we could spend money on someone to do that sort of thing for us," which sounds horribly middle class or upper middle class or middle upper class. But some people they do that. And that's fine. Don't need to be snooty or not about it. If you need the help, then do what's best for you. But I've always had a bit of a hang up about that because I can do it. I just don't want to do it. And as you can tell by my grey beard or beard, face fuzz, as you can probably tell, I'm not getting any younger, which is a phrase that I hate from a logical, autistic point of view, autistic logical point of view. You don't need to say it out loud. We're not getting any younger. Yeah, I know. The relentless march of time. That's how time works. It's going forward. I don't need to be reminded that none of us are getting any younger. It's like, God, it's time going forward. Like we can't go back in time. Oh, you know what? I just forgot for a moment. I thought that tomorrow I'd be 12 again. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not getting any younger. Having said what I've just ranted about needlessly, I'm not getting any younger. I've said it 4 times now. Keep the emergency live stream snacks nearby. I've thought about that. I had some Brazil nuts downstairs. I was getting through the packet alarmingly quickly, and I thought, no, ADHD, be quiet. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's me zipping a mouth on my head. I suppose that works. I said, no, ADHD, stop being impulsive and just snacking on nuts. But now I miss them. They're downstairs. But I will be downstairs very shortly, as you know, because I'll be warming up food. Um, right, let me catch up. I learned from Calvin and Hobbes. Oh, hi, BJ Kerry. Good to see you. I love your comments as down as you have been. It's very means a lot to read something that basically is my inner monologue, but someone said it in a different country. Massively validating. Thank you. Um, I learned from Calvin Hobbes it was a bit to keep people's expectations low so that it was easy to impress them. Yeah, it's a strategy I'm familiar with. Um, I don't expect my sons to do anything. It was my choice. They were born, not theirs. Why should they thank me? Lily, thank you. I mean, I used to say to my mum, I've fallen into the card buying pleasantries, like mandatory kindness. Like you will spend money on a slice of dead tree to convey to someone who should already know by now that you love them. I used to justify my lack of engagement with that cultural event by saying to my mum, "But mum, A, you know I love you, or you should do." As sarcastic as my voice might naturally be, I mean, you're partially responsible for that, mum, because I hate to remind you, but you had me. Um, Mum, your birthday's really close to Mother's Day. It always is every year. So, you know, I always acknowledge your birthday, of course. Um, so Mother's Day, why should I do that? Although, um, whether you're saying you don't expect your son to do anything for Mother's Day, I mean, that that can also you could extend that and go, well, birthdays are a bit meh as well, because why should why should you say, oh, Mum, happy birthday? It's just you know. Anyway, I'm getting myself confused. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, why do we spend so much time and energy marking these big occasions when you could just pick a day and tell someone that you love them? Or maybe you find that hard, which actually I do find that quite hard, just to say it out loud. As you will know, from my first YouTube video, my wedding day, it's quite hard to say what I really feel in a manner that is acceptable to a neurodivergent audience. Uh, I can't remember what point I was trying to make, Lily, about birthdays and Mother's Day. That's going to annoy me, but I'll unravel that and ruminate on that after this live stream. If you can help me out trying to make sense of what's going on in my mind, then I'd be ever so grateful. Obviously, use the chat function and tell me what I'm thinking, because I clearly have no idea. I'm just doing the usual, just rambling. Um, So I really ought to try and structure this a little bit more by asking you questions, not like an interrogation, but just to show an interest and to give you a break from my randomness. Although it's kind of why you're here, isn't it? I suppose. Um, so what questions can I ask you? Tell me something nice that's happened in your life. That's a really bizarre way of saying, did you have a nice weekend? See, I can do small talk, but it's not really small talk. It's not small talk when I ask. It's always profound when it comes from me. Even when I do the sarcastic eyebrows that I know I'm doing, even though I'm not looking at myself, I'm looking at the camera. Um, it's always profound when it comes from me, even when I'm being sarcastic. Um, you're younger now than you will ever be. Oh, that's twisted my melon. But yes, you're right. And I was younger when I just said what I've said now than what I'm saying now. And I was younger then when I said what I'm just saying now than what I'm saying now. Time, man. Um, you can do something to show you love them. You don't have to say it. I completely understand. My son and friend can't say it, but they do things that make me feel loved. That's that's the best way, isn't it? It's showing you. I didn't intend this to be discussion about love, but why not? Why not? Um, yeah, isn't we want to judge people based on their behaviour. Well, I personally think that that is the way that people ought to be judged, by their behaviour, not whether they've got money or colour of their skin or whether they went to the same university as you or whatever criterion. Um, you know, are they nice? How do you know they're nice? Because of their behaviour. So that's what think I was trying to say with the birthdays and Mother's Day and whatever um, mass event that we're obliged to take an interest in. Like, you must show your love on this day. And I just thought, my ADHD part of my brain just thought, but what about Autism Awareness Day and all these other awareness days? Why do we have to be aware on that particular day? Why do I need to show my love for someone on that particular day? There's a bit of demand avoidance as well. Like, why are you telling me that I ought to express my love on that day? And in any case, as Lily said, the best way to show your love is through your behavior. Anyone can say 3 words. Well, most people, I would say, I love you. You might not actually mean that. You can say it, but behavior, that requires proper effort, like doing something meaningful that shows you love someone. That's that's difficult to fake that. Well, more difficult than just saying 3 words in a row. Profound, man. I'm sure you'll agree. Um, I do like that though. I've just read it again. You're younger now than you will ever be. Yeah, love it. Scott, I'm just catching up in the snack chat. Snack cupboard rivals. Our snack cupboard rivals our whole pantry. You've got a pantry. Cool. Yeah, we've got a snack cupboard and we call it snack cupboard. Some language is universal. Um, and it's my job to replenish the snack cupboard, mainly for my own benefit, I would say. It's not like not an act of showing someone, my family, how I love them. I'm not going to lie about that. That snack cupboard is mainly for me because I'm a greedy gut. I work from home. When I'm working from home, I'm like in that snack cupboard like a seagull on chips. How about that for a simile? Um, right. Bridget, you can't stay. Yeah, we've got to feed yourself. It's a weird time to do this, but it's always going to be weird for someone in the world because I can't please everyone all of the time, as has been my life story, being autistic in particular. Live stream's never going to work for everyone at the same time, are they? So yes, go and feed your family. Far more meaningful than listening to some random from the UK. I feel the same way about Valentine's Day. You're saying I can be, so BJ Carey, you're saying I can be a great partner 364 days, but if I neglect this one day, it negates every other one. Yeah, yeah, I see that. I see it that way as well. It's like you can be, I was going to slightly swear then. You can be a rude person for the vast majority of the year and then make it up for it in one day, one really commercial day. No, it doesn't work. Surely that doesn't work in people's relationships. They can see right through it. You just do it every single year, like, oh, I'm really sorry. I've been a horrible person for 364 days in the year. Probably wouldn't say that. You just say, oh, I'm sorry. I've been so horrible lately. Lately? What do you mean lately? Last 364 days. Yeah, but it's Valentine's. Please forgive me. You have to do that as well. They go, oh, all right then. And then 15th of February, start all over again, being horrible. Oh no, ch- hang on, another 363 days and I'll be a nice person again for a day. No, that's not a sustainable relationship. Cathal Hex, let's play darts. 3 words. Yeah, let's play darts. Anyone can say that. It doesn't mean you're actually going to play darts. I see what you did there. I love that. Any other 3 words that makes the point, which surely any 3 words in combination would make the point, because the point was you could just say any 3 words. God, I talk some rubbish in this, but that's why it's fun. And I can't hear you going, "What are you saying?" I mean, you can type it, um, but yeah, I can't see you doing what I just did then. Like, oh, God's sake, what was he on about? Um, Eric Stewart, 10cc, wrote that the song "I'm Not in Love" for his wife. 50 years later, they're still. Is that right? I kind of thought that was about, I don't know, about a relationship that went wrong. But yeah, fair enough. I didn't know that, and I'm usually very proud of my pop music or rock music trivia. That one's passed me by until now, so thank you so much. Any music trivia, whack it in the chat room. and I'm going to get on it and treasure the knowledge. Laura Havett, I thank my mother every day, particularly after hearing people's stories of how their parents treat them growing up. Yeah, it could not have been easy raising a high support needs autistic child in the 1980s. Indeed. Um, or dare I say, raising a child or growing up as a child in an abusive household and or in poverty or both. Um, yeah, yeah. So good for you. Because as much as I say that you can convey love through your behaviour, I'm not saying that they're mutually exclusive. You can only do one or the other. Like you can only show love through being a nice person. You're not allowed to say I love you. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for me the most effective way, the most meaningful way of showing someone that you love them is to be nice, like do things for them on their behalf to make them happy. That's not to say you can never say I love you. Of course not. And who would I be to tell people what they can and can't say in the matters of love? Because that is a subject I am not qualified to talk at length about, even though I have tried my best for the last 12 minutes or so. Um, like a tramp on chips, I believe is the term. Yeah, I've heard that, but I'm gonna say no. I don't. I'm gonna be really dare I say PC, politically correct, and say tramp. Yeah, someone, someone on going through bad times, shall we say? But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think that was perhaps the original phrase, and I've just replaced that word with seagulls because I think it's funnier. And I think I've probably nicked it from somewhere, like a seagull nicking a chip. Just, I love that. Quip, chip. Well, the difference being that I store the quip, chip, in my back pocket for a rainy day or a sunny day, as it is in the UK right now, where I am, to then repeat it in an autism YouTube live stream. Whereas the seagull, they won't stash it in their back pocket because they don't have back pockets. They all just connection's gone unstable. Can you still hear me? Yeah, I think you still can. I might have to plug this in. Um, think about relationship optimization. You need to be in a relationship. Hi, Navin, first of all. Good to see you. I don't think I've met you before through the live stream, through YouTube. So good to see you. 15 people, incredible. Um, Not that it's a numbers game. I get hung up on the number. Don't get hung up on the numbers. It's just, it's good to know how many people are here because otherwise, if the chat doesn't happen, I'm just going to freeze up and switch off, which is what I'm going to be doing very shortly anyway. Fascinating backstory about 10cc song. You should look at the video on it. I really ought to. It's Arlene from Canada, artist on the spectrum. You're walking in on an interesting conversation. Indeed, Arlene, because you are your music royalty. Arlene has worked with Alanis Morissette and I'm presuming lots of other brilliant musicians. And Arlene has her own autism YouTube channel. And there was one video that I saw as I was working um, that I said, "Oh, I must go and watch that," and I will log back on later to listen to Arlene. Um, the was a wobble, but still okay. Okay. Naveen, you've been a follower for a while. Cool. Um, you're in India. Fantastic. The day has ended. I like that. Conclusivity. Is that a word? The day has ended. And now it's fun times where you listen to some random guy in the UK chat about whatever is on his mind based on prompts slash comments from people he can't see, whilst trying to tack it back to the main theme, which is, of course, autism and our autistic experiences. So, welcome again. Um, are Mondays as exhausting for everyone as they are for me? I'm ADHD. Me too. Um, I just generally find life gets more and more exhausting, whether it's a Monday, a Wednesday, Saturday or a Tuesday. And that's kind of why I've switched on the laptop and thought, I'm going to do a live stream because I found it it's this is the selfishness coming through. Doing a live stream, it's um like a buffer between that portion of reality, like from when I wake up to when I finish my working day, live stream, oasis, and then right back into real life. This is like some sort of weird liminal state where I'm in reality, but not because I can forget about, well, to an extent, all my responsibilities because live stream's good times, even when I'm ranting, even when I'm feeling sorry for myself, which is, main reason why I switched on because I thought, I'm feeling glum. I want to cheer up, and I know that I'm going to be cheered up by the wonderful people in the internet ether who are actually real people, of course. I'm assuming this isn't being generated by AI, which I keep reading about, which is terrifying. I'm assuming that these comments are from coming from actual human brains. That sounds really gruesome, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And and as I've said before in live streams and probably one or two of my videos, I don't talk very much, believe it or not. So I'm yapping away right now. But when I'm in the real world, I barely talk because I've learned that people don't want to hear really. But you guys are a receptive audience because you've voluntarily logged on and gone, oh, Autistic Not Alien is live. I must give up everything else that I'm doing or need to do and listen to this chat. And it's refreshing it's nice to be wanted, isn't it? It's nice to be wanted when you're autistic, late diagnosed, going through post-diagnosis grief, and have had decades of being misunderstood and not being listened to. It is so refreshing to do a live stream and be heard, and people go, "Yeah, that happened to me." Oh yeah, I get that. Wow, mind blown. Connection. Now, who says autistic people don't want connection? Oh, they're weirdos. They isolate themselves and they don't want to participate in mainstream society or whatever it might be. It's like, no, we want connection, just like a neurotypical person. But the way we demonstrate our need for communication, the way we connect, might be different. It's not deficient. It's not wrong. It's not weird. It's just different. And it all comes back to love, the big one. So, and I get to chat about all that, the meaningful stuff and the pop music references, all stir it up in the same monologue slash conversation and not feel odd. Whereas normally I would because I'm an ADHDer, so my brain's going 100 miles an hour making connections with random, that connected to that. That's no connection. Why are you doing that, brain? What's going on? See, I'm doing it now. That's the internal that goes on every day. And it rarely has somewhere to go. It just swirls around. So doing this it's like it's like a release, isn't it? Some of the nonsense I can share, and by sharing it, it has merit because now and again people go, "Oh yeah, cool. Well, did you know that the story behind the 10cc song with "I'm Not in Love," and I'm like, so it's not just me who's fascinated in these connections and has these interests. Nope, clearly not. Anyway, let's get back to the chat. I said I rely on you to make the live streams happen. Of course I do, because otherwise I'd just be staring at a camera going, what do I say? Let me have a look. Possibly ADHD, but between autism, you're disorder, MSD, or you don't need. That's fair enough. You're not looking for another diagnosis. Um, um, I'm depleted. Don't expect much of a Monday. Hence, get dressed at 3 p.m. That's fine. You do you. Not harming anyone. Uh, Changing gears from weekend mode to workday mode is never easy. No, it is nonsense. 5 days. I mean, I'm assuming it's 5 days where you are, Scott, in Minnesota. 5 days working, 2 days off. That's a wrong ratio, and it's slowly changing in this country. In England, at any rate, and companies are looking at 4 days, or are actually doing this. That 4 days working, 3 days not working, and productivity hasn't changed, which suggests for a very long time people have been spreading out 4 days worth of work over 5 days. Um, Go them. They've been getting away with it. But the problem I find is the 5 days where you're expected to be at a place or to to be in work mode when that's a huge chunk of your week, huge chunk of your life. It's not right. I've got to be in my bonnet about work, as you can probably tell. Um, I don't like Mondays, but working days equally exhausting to me. Yeah, I'm just not coping very well at the moment. Um, Alanis Morissette, thank you, live video lyrics, Grief Cycle is Healing. That song is rather wonderful, but then I would say that about Alanis Morissette. Um, Brains, yeah, sorry, it's a bit of a gruesome way of saying thinking, but why go for the standard way of saying things when you can be an autistic ADHDer and think of something wonderfully wacky to make your point? Which when I normally do that, I get people frowning at me. But here, no, I can't see you anyway. So if you are frowning, I don't know. It's like taking rust off an abandoned track. I don't know what you're referring to, but I like that phrase. Um, it's going to wash up. It's my fault. Well, you can do two. Well, if you're unlike me, you can do two things at once. You can wash up and listen to me yap away. I have heard a few people, I've been told by a few people that they either while this is happening or afterwards with the recording, they'll have me on in the background and do what they need to do. Which, thinking out loud, it's pretty much like my real life when I'm talking and people are doing other things at the same time, pretending to listen. So that's not to make you feel bad if you do end up, doing something else or watching a recording of a future live stream. I won't be offended because you won't tell me that that's what you've done. Navin said, I had a group chat Sunday night with an Indian ADHD support group I'm a part of. Was so de-stressing. Great. Fabulous. That's why I'm doing this. De-stress. Connection. So yeah, nice one. Funboy 3, Our Lips Are Sealed cover. Stephen. Funboy 3, the late Terry, second name I've forgotten, from The Specials. Our Lips Are Sealed. I'll have to look at that. He says, if I don't write it down, I won't remember because I'm an ADHDer. Boy 3, Our Lips Are Sealed. Brilliant. Sorry, that's boring. You're watching me write notes about pop music. Music collections are a special interest or a stim for me. That's a really interesting point. I wonder whether it is for me as well. I like knowledge for knowledge's sake. Although having said that, if you're talking to me about a topic that I'm not interested in, I'm not going to retain that information. I say retain. If I'm not interested in the topic that you're talking about, the words that you've said, like I'm going to pick cars. Yeah, a lot of people like cars. I'm sorry if you like cars. You might be offended by what I'm about to say, but I'm quite bored by cars, or mechanics, engines. Right, and I do kind of get why you might be interested in engines, engineering. It's cool to know how stuff works, and generally, autistic people like to know how stuff works, don't we? We're like logical people. We need a reason. Why is that doing that? Why does that rule exist? You know, I'm relating engineering to value-based rules. Anyway, cars. You start talking to me about cars. And if you're in the UK, there's a program called Top Gear. I'm not gonna watch Top Gear, not least because it's fronted by a horribly right-wing person. Um, but you release the words from your mouth, and it's impossible for me to retain the information because the information never reached my brain because I've stopped listening. The words have sort of fizzled away like steam from a cup of tea, just gone. And I'm like thinking about pop music while probably nodding, going, "Yeah, Ferraris, cool." Actually, that's a bad example because Ferraris are quite cool. Um, but yeah, cars or any subject. Um, yeah, that I'm not interested in. I'm just gonna be like, I really want to hear that 10cc song now. Yeah, sounds really narrow-minded, but special interests. I'm autistic, kind of all or nothing. Kind of all or nothing. That's a contradiction in terms. I am all or nothing. The YouTube, pop music, Aberdeen Football Club. Sadly for me, politics. Oh, you know, special interest slash obsession. Politics is the one I hesitate to say because politics isn't self-regulating. The others are, which I've only realised like very recently, you know, in my early 40s, knowing that I'm autistic, how much those special interests, which you might say, well, I'm narrow-minded because of the fact that I only have a certain amount of interests which are very intense. Only very recently have I realised that they are a huge part in keeping me sane, particularly with the last 18 months and what's going on in the world. Again, just reinforces what I've already said. I was just repeating myself that doing a live stream, making the videos, spending hours making videos that barely anyone watches. No, I'm joking. I know you watch them. It's kind of beside the point, really, because I'm making something that's taking my mind off how grim the world can be and is. Sorry if you you know, if you heard a noise just then, it wasn't my stomach. It was a car. See, I'm going from indifference about cars to active dislike. You know, there's exhausts that, you know, why do I need to hear someone's exhaust? I'm going to go off on a rant about that one person. Why? Why would you know, adapt or convert your car so that more noise is created? See, this is a very autistic rant, is it not? I don't want to hear it. It's disrupted my live stream. Now it's the focus of my live stream. It should just be, you know, like all the other cars. I'm probably jinxing it now. There'll be another very noisy car in a moment. It should just go past, go from A to B. So I don't need to hear your journey. Now I'm talking about it, and now you've had to listen to that for a minute and a half. Yeah, blimey. Right, let's get back to some more interesting things. That car's not interesting. This chat room is. Um, I'm so pleased people chatting about music. Yeah, I'm just, like I said, background noise. Um, you know, if you're warming up food like I do, or you know, got clothes to fold or put on, I don't know. I'm background noise. I'm wallpaper. That's fine. You carry on because you know if you guys are connecting here, I'm incidental. I don't mind being incidental. That's fine. in my own live stream. I don't mind fading into the background. I brought you here, but don't give me any credit. Just chat about 70s, 80s music. That's fine. I'm over it. I'm retired, not a fan of being old, but big fan of not working. Jane, hello, first of all. Sorry it's taken me so long to acknowledge your presence. And thirdly, I am so jealous of you and anyone who can say factually, I am retired. 3 words. If those are factual words, I am so jealous. I fantasize about retirement. You know, retirement has a stereotype in the UK of, I don't know, endless cups of tea, going to charity shops, going on the bus, mooching about. I've not used the word mooching for a while. Mooching about town, looking at things you're not going to buy, or maybe buying them, and not having to go to work. Yeah, nice one, James. Hope retirement's fun for you. Don't mind me working. This isn't work though, is it? This is me just being silly. In India, we have massive industrial superstars of past generations. I like that, just that sentence. The ones who set up giants of their industry, they advocate for 80 hours. I've heard of this, Navin. These lunatics who suggest that people should work 80 hours a week because they assume that, or they want to believe that people are just units of production. They're just cogs in the machine for that person's benefit. No, no. These are my politics. It's like, just because you've got £4 billion doesn't mean you're more important than someone who's got nothing. I don't get it. And maybe that's just because I'm so used to being the downtrodden, undiagnosed autistic person who's used to being not appreciated to the extent that most people are appreciated. And that's not a hard luck story. I know you know that because, well, I'm guessing that you do. Particularly if you're, well, late diagnosed or not, if you're autistic, you know what it's like to be excluded for the apparent crime, although it isn't a crime, of being different, being autistic. So it makes a lot of sense to me, like my own sort of general political outlook, to see people as having equal value. I've not gone to school to learn that. I don't think you should go to school to learn that. I think you should just know that. But yeah, I do. I kind of see it through an autistic lens. Like, well, I've had all of these experiences, negative experiences, feeling excluded, isolated, not listened to, and so on and so on. I know what it's like to be looked down upon, and so people who are exploited, um, I side with them. So I suppose more easily than neurotypical people, perhaps, because I'm so used to being the one that's looked down upon, and people who've been exploited for their labor are, yeah, they're the ones down there being looked down upon, and it's not right. So these people, billionaires, saying work 80 hours a week, just appalling. We've only got one shot in this world. To go to sleep at night knowing that you put people through this needless misery so you can buy another yacht. Just out of this world. Boomtown Rats, I don't like Mondays yet. Classic. Bob Geldof, although I'm not, I could go off on a rant about Geldof. I don't know much about him, to be fair. Lunatics have taken over the asylum, yeah, absolutely. Tears for Fears, Madwell, classic. Gary Jules, #1, Christmas, 2003. Can you tell I'm autistic? Get the background sound thing. Sorry, I was ranting about cars for a long time. Or a car. Waking up early, nothing. 5:30, put Ashes and India's in the background today. Yeah. I'd love to go to India. Anyway, my father-in-law went a few years ago. Just reinforced my desire to go to India, and I know it's huge. Just life is way too short to explore India. And you should put that on like a massive like airport poster. Life is too short to explore India because it's true. It's massive. Um, yeah, to see a cricket match in India. I like cricket. I'm not a huge fan. Um, yeah. To generalize, I know not all people, but to generalize, people in India like cricket. I think it's fair to say it's quite a popular sport, and to see that passion for that sport would be fascinating. Although the little autistic voice in my mind said, "Yeah, but it'd be very noisy." Yes, it would. Yes, it would. So, in theory, I like the idea of seeing a cricket match in India, um, but in reality, I'd probably just watch it on the telly, which I could do in the UK. And I'm not going to go all the way to India to watch a match that's been played in India, but just to watch it on the telly. That'd be pointless. Um, Gary Newman Cars, classic, classic. What an influence that. You're marrying a subject I don't like with with the subject that I do really like. I like what you did there, Stephen. Cars, ew. Cars, the song, yes. Um, what an influential song Cars has been. I was listening to Goldfrapp last week, and I'm actually going to see Goldfrapp in a couple of months. And yeah, the influence of Cars on one of their albums in particular is just so obvious, and in a good way. Right, Arts and Spec, you have inspired me to do my live stream. I'm going to sing and play so much. Cool. On Friday the 11th, big coming out of a burnout that basically made me music. I'm sorry to hear that, Arlene. Friday the 11th. Um, so I'm catching up in the chat. If you want to, and if you haven't done so already, tell us when is that on the 11th? Your time and preferably UK time, because the world revolves around the UK, as everyone knows. I'm going to put on the 11th in my paper diary because I'm old school. Arlene live stream and proper talent, not just random nonsense from an unshaven, pasty-faced guy in the UK, but actual like musical talent from Arlene in Canada. You know, I did the poetry podcast. Podcasts. I've done a podcast poetry. Poetry live stream, and I thought it'd be a lot easier because I'd just read and then I wouldn't have to yap away. I actually found it quite tiring. Because I suppose I felt I had to do two things at once, like be the amazingly naturally witty person that I am, and also make sure that I read fantastic poetry as well. So it wasn't as easy as I thought. But Arlene, I'm not putting you off. I'm just thinking out loud, probably saying the wrong thing as usual, and I'm sure you'll be amazing. You'll have a set list for a start, I'm sure. I'm sure you will. And it'd be really interesting to hear you perform, because I've heard, I've read you talk about music, but I've not actually heard you play it. Um, Chasing Car, Snow Patrol, 2006. Using the film, I think. Yeah, it was everywhere, wasn't it? And it's a really easy song to play. He says, not having much musical talent. I've got the guitar, not intentionally, but it's out of tune. Like my life, unscripted gag. That. No, yeah, maybe I'll be inspired by Arlene, artist, artist on the spectrum, to do my own gig, but that would probably require red wine, and that could get messy. And then I'd wake up the next morning or the next afternoon and go, "Oh, I've got to delete that recording." Ah, and it'll be too late because a grand total of 300 people will have seen it and gone, oh, why is he murdering Oasis songs or Radiohead? Um, did you know that Gary Newman is older than Gary Oldman? This is the content I am here for, everyone. Fantastic. Ricketic 65. That's perfect. So I'm gonna have to stash it in the back pocket, unlike a seagull, and pick the wrong moment to share someone else's fact, at, I was gonna say dinner party, but yeah, no one goes to dinner parties today. Well, I don't, because I'm autistic. Um, and I'm gonna pick my moment, really think hard when to interject because I'm hopeless at doing this usually, um, because processing and people just ignoring me when I want to say something anyway. And I'm gonna say, did you know that Gary Newman is older than Gary Oldman? And then the tumbleweed. But then I bet you someone in that crowd that I've shared this brilliant fact that Ricketic65 has shared initially, I bet you they'll remember that and then they'll use it. They'll share it and it'll be like, oh, you're so funny. That's amazing. So it's not what I said. It was who said it. I got a real big hang up, haven't I, about mixing with the neurotypicals. Gary Newman is older than Gary Oldman. Chef's kiss. I should stop doing that because it's really cheesy. I'll just congratulate you. I'll subscribe. Yeah, please do, Navin. Please do. I'm between special interests at the moment, waiting for my brain to decide what my. Yeah, I'm a slave to the brain. Brain, what's happening today? Are you going to be in a bad mood? Are you going to fixate on writing a song like I did 2 weekends ago? Just 4 hours writing a really dreadful punk song which lasted less than a minute. Did I have fun? Oh yes, I had fun. Did anyone need to hear that song? No, no, you don't need to hear me now. It's all about the process, guys. Although it is nice to have a legacy, isn't it? To have a, I suppose a YouTube channel. If I don't delete it all in a mad fit of self-hatred, I'm not going to do that, by the way. Not today, anyway. But yeah, like songs that people like. I'm sure Arlene's got loads of them, and we're going to hear on the 11th of April. The character, God, I'm way behind. I'm chuntering. I've got to go in about 15 minutes, he says. The car exhaust thing, you don't need to hear them, but they need to tell you. Yeah, like a lot of people in my life. Um, and you barely had it. I thought that because the mic's inbuilt into the laptop. I haven't got the posh kit, the expensive kit. Um, that a lot of YouTubers. I put an extra R there, and I don't know why I said it like that. I was just trying to be funny, and I fell flat on my face. Um, the whizzy YouTuber stereotype that I'm referring to, where they've got all those expensive lights and brilliant microphones. I don't have that. So yeah, you won't have heard that car that I was banging on about. Um, I'm going to do my night skincare. That's good to know, Nevin. You look after your skin, all of you. Because I said so. Aunt Mikey's place. Hello, Aunt Mikey's place. You're an actual place. Wow, I hope it's nice where you are. Aunt Mikey's place retirement. I got laid off in October, so I don't have a job. I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe it's good news. Um, maybe that's what you wanted. I don't know. One foot in the grave. Yeah, one foot in the grave. That's Eric Idle, Monty Python, and a show that was very popular in the 90s in the UK. Pensioner Neil. I don't so much like the pensioner bit because I'm very aware that I'm getting on because none of us are getting younger. Relentless march of time. That's how time works. Um, but I'm getting less and less bothered about the pensioner thing because for me, pensioner equals freedom. And I get it, you can be very poor as a pensioner. Lots of elderly people in this world are very poor, but I like weigh that up against the demands of a Monday to Friday job. And I've got another job as well, which is more optional than the main job. So I've got two jobs, and I'm just knackered. Just want to do this all day and write songs, and then maybe send it to Arlene, and Arlene will go, "That's dreadful. Why are you sending me songs?" I'll be like, "Yeah, but I thought you might like it and do something with it." You know, I'm prepared for that knockback, Arlene. I'm prepared for that. Um, yeah, I just want to do that. I just want to be creative. Um, yeah, I'm 43. I was going to say I'll be lucky. I think the planet will be lucky, but that's another 30 years the way it's going. Um, so I've got less time ahead than I've already had. You know, so I want to enjoy the time I've got left. So pensioner, yay pensioners anyway, but especially for the freedom that I associate being a pensioner with. You know. Primate dominance, hierarchy, civilization of civilized. I think that was me. God, I'm way behind. Because I chunted away. As you know, it's 20 people. Crikey. Um, Lots of comments to catch up on. I'm sure you don't mind me going off on one. That's what I'm here for. Now, you must have heard that one. Did you not hear that one? That was a proper like rev it up outside my window. Right, he's doing a live stream. Anyway, so I'm going to catch up on the comments. Yeah, I was going on about equality because that's my thing. That's my jam. Uh, Power to the people, equality, dominance, hierarchy. No, I think I did a video about hierarchies. Shameless plug. Don't get it. I do get it. I do get that you need someone to navigate a team. I do get leadership. I do get managers. I get that. But this sort of perception that there's some innate hierarchy, like some people are better than others, that can get in the bin. They can get in the bin. And that's very strongly linked to ableism as well. Like, well, if you're disabled, then you're inherently worse than someone who's not disabled. Horrific. And I think the source of pretty much every bad thing that's happened, well, a lot of bad things, you can trace it back to the view that, you know, to someone's view that some people are better than others. Greed, war, etc., etc. If you really want to drill down what the psychology was, essentially it is, well, I think that some people are better than others. No, that is the hill I will be peacefully dying on. I've known people who work ridiculous hours and they are productive. They don't really do anything. They spend most of the time in self-promotion. Harriet, hello, Harriet. This is one thing that really I find very difficult to accept is not not only the time that I'm obliged to give to someone else so I can put food on the table, it's the lack of meaning in the work. Um, and there's a guy sadly not with us anymore, who if I could actually read a book, because ADHD, I find reading a book incredibly difficult. But if I did try ever so hard to apply myself and read a book, then I'd read one by David Graeber, um, and it'll probably be his book, Bullshit Jobs. Just so much time and energy for really meaningless ends. Don't get it. And I'm not going to say, oh, I'm against self-promotion. I have a YouTube channel. I'm doing this. I'm clearly interested in self-promotion. But there's a time and a place. This is fun times. If you discount all the grim stuff about getting old and dying, Um, but yeah, self-promotion at work, like do the thing. What all this time, all this faff, and I see it to an extent, well, to a large extent, in my current workplace, and it really annoys me. It's like all that time and energy and resources into people's egos. We're not here for that. We're here to do the thing. Sorry, another rant. I've ranted about cars, egos, inequality. That's pretty good. It's not bad for an hour. Done exactly an hour. I'm gonna have to go in 10 minutes. Um, Last week I walked 41 miles in 3 days across Galloway Forest. I wild camped. It was exhausting but brilliant. I saw ospreys. Fantastic. Galloway Forest. Um, I've had a lovely day out in sun visiting Lymington in the New Forest. Lovely part of the world. Yeah, I grew up. I spent the 90s in Basingstoke up the way, on the wrong end of Hampshire. And yeah, now and again we go to the New Forest. Loved it. Bewley and Lymington on the coast. Superb. I went there more recently with the family, the children, and it was beautiful weather. Um, the only way I can rationalise what you're saying is that these people are privileged who don't know our difficulty. I think you're right, Lee. Just don't. They don't know, and there's no desire to know. That frustrates me. So another rant, but it's the lack of care. Like, oh, you're autistic, so you're in a world that's not designed for you. I don't care. It was designed for me, so I'm sweet. Yeah, but it's not designed for me, and I'm struggling right now. Could you help out? I could help out, but I'm not going to. Okay, then I'll find solace in my tiny YouTube channel. Is that all right? Yeah, fine. I don't care. So I don't usually do the role playing with just myself. I generally only do it in the live streams for some reason. God, that golf wrap comment from me was a long time ago. I've got to catch up because I've got to disappear very soon. Even in India, I'm sure you're talking amongst yourselves anyway. I am background noise. I am wallpaper. Even in India, the cricket matches are in no way any quieter. Yeah, I just love to go there. Um, uh, Sleaford Mods, UK Grim. Yeah, Sleaford Mods. I'm a little bit ambivalent about Sleaford Mods. And again, I really shouldn't be because of their politics or Jason Williamson's politics. He was sat on the fence about Gaza, and I just did not like that. So that's basically why I'm ambivalent about the music. But it's a tricky one because if you start listening to music or reading books um, only by people whose politics you agree with, then you're minimizing the art that you have access to. Because there are lots of authors, rock stars who've got dreadful politics and done dreadful things, like I guess most of us have done. If you just get rid of the books and the albums because you don't like their politics, then I think you might be the only one losing out. But I know that's a very simplified way of resolving that debate. Um, I love New Forest. Used to go on holiday. Yeah, I love it too. Associated with my childhood in the 90s. Um, it's your poetry that's. Oh well, that's the first time anyone's ever said that, Eileen. My poetry has inspired someone. My poetry is usually tolerated, so I'll take that. Thank you. That means a lot. Um, because I'm usually just trying to get squeeze in a joke and wrap it up and pretend it's a poem. So cool. Yeah. If that the poetry thing's inspired a gig online by someone with your track record, pardon the pun, um, then amazing. And it's in my diary. And I am actually on leave that day. Um, oh no. And I'm on leave because I have to be places. depending on the time that you do it, I might have to catch the recording, Eileen. So if I'm not there in the chat, you know why. Following artists on the Spectrum podcast, my first book on my channel, Michelle Kitts author. Okay, superb. Should have said this at the start. I should say it at the start of every live stream. Please feel free to share your recommendations for YouTube channels and pop music and whatever. I'm going to hurry up. Jane Ray, also fan, not working hard, looking forward to not doing it on a regular basis, but still so far away in the horizon. I feel your pain. Yep, a long time for me. Fascinating. God, I'm way behind. Nudge that means new in my local language. Wow. So that would be Gary Navin man. That sounds cooler. What's the common thread for the long suggestion you're giving? Is there any at all? What's the common thread for the song suggestions you're giving? Yeah, how did we get onto that? I've forgotten now. ADHD brain. I can't remember. You'll have to scroll right back up to the chat. Please don't have to delete your channel. We would surely. Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Not intending to know. It's just a flippant remark, as I'm keen on sharing flippant remarks. But although someone did do that, I was gutted because his videos were brilliant. Hunter Hansen, you might have watched his videos. He was super popular. He was as popular, more popular than people like Orion Kelly, Paul Mickliffe at Autism from the Inside. Like millions of views, and he just deleted his channel. A guy in America, North America, the United States, he just deleted it all. And I think he said because it was just like it became obsessed with it, the irony being autistic was like a super special interest, and I found his videos really funny, really helpful, really inventive, just perfect. And he deleted his channel about 3 or 4 years ago. Hunter Hansen. But yeah, he helped me understand that I'm autistic, which is, one massive reason why I started making my own videos, to help other people realize that they're not on their own. Right, Friday 11th, 7 p.m. playing catch up. So I'm going to get told off by my daughter and my wife when they walk in and go, "What are you doing? Why are you doing another live stream?" Because I find it fun. Am I allowed fun? Not on a Monday, no. So that would be 7 p.m. Toronto time. So you're 5 hours behind me. So that would be 2 p.m. here. Was it midnight? What? I can't even figure this out. No, I can't. Just forget what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's midnight. I'm going to take your word for it. That's midnight in the UK on a Friday. I want to make the effort, even though I do park run on Saturday morning. I want to be there, Arlene. If I'm not, it's because I'm a man with a grey beard, getting old. But we'll watch the recording. Monica, the advantages of not being seen. People have walked in the house now. Walking in the house. Bear with me. I'm going to make my excuses. Come back, rattle through the rest of the comments, and then make tea. Not for you, but for them. Bear with. So, wrap up my live stream, and then I'm going to make tea. You're not live streaming. Say live stream. Should I bring this home? Yeah. I've got my face on. Hello, people.
Hello. Oh, where's Pepsi? Pepsi is the more important thing to show on this live stream. Am I?
Yeah.
Pepsi doesn't want to be here.
Hello. You got me again after that highlight. Random. So yeah, my wife's not impressed clearly, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. I'm sorry if I've missed comments before. I'm sorry. When you say you have two jobs, one your YouTube job. Yeah, well, I've got three jobs. No, I have a day job. Um, I'm a counsellor. I'm in politics, and my third job is this. If you want to call it a job, I don't see it as a job. Although the amount of time I spend on this, probably should class it as a job. I'll send you the songs anytime. Well, if you want to see my songs or hear my songs, I've got my other YouTube channel. So yeah, so not every single song I've ever made, but yeah, if you are bored and want to laugh, then go to my other YouTube channel, which finally I linked from my Autistic Not Alien channel. So yeah, go and subscribe to my other channel and listen to bad music. So if not comments and replied to them, no worries at all, Juju. Yeah, be kind to yourself, absolutely. Hurry up here. Most people get paid for time. We don't get paid for mental, physical, and emotional energy. ND and disabled people generally have to give far more energy during work time. Yes, because we have to mask to blend in as well as do the job that we're being paid to do. Neurotypical people don't get that. I didn't get that until I realised I'm autistic. It's like I've got two work streams up there going on at the same time, and it blew my mind to realise that most people just have one work stream, whereas I'm working double time to work. I should be getting paid double just for the effort of trying to fit in with other people. What paradox we can contribute to the world by just being ourselves? Yeah, this is what I can think about constantly. This is my dream. I'm very gradually working on it, but it's not going to happen tomorrow. Changing my work situation. Because the systems aren't designed for us. Yes, is correct. It's yeah. Because I have to go. I'm not going to dive into that, but I just want to acknowledge that if it needs acknowledging, that it's absolutely spot on, and I want to talk at length about it now. But I knew that this would have to be a brief one. Please do more role play shorts. Have YouTube now into that. Bet you'd be a hit with your humour. What do you mean? I bet that I'd be a hit. Clearly, I already am, aren't I? Oh, maybe not. Any excuse to wear a skirt, I think. Whoever you are, if you're me, which you're not, because I'm me, yeah, just wear a skirt, or not. Wear something though. Wear something. Sorry, I've jolted the computer. I was so alarmed at what I said out loud. Put so much energy in dealing with other parts of my job and I put it to my actual job. Yeah, that's Navin, with you on that. It's like, if I was just to do my job, it might be quite easy and stress-free. But it's all the other nonsense that goes with it. Like, why? All the stuff that's not in a job description, and I'm autistic. I want to know where I stand. I want to know, these are my responsibilities. If that's what I was doing, I'd probably be okay. I wouldn't be moaning about it so much. But as it's got all these extras that weren't in the job description or that I wasn't warned about, that's the tiring bit. Lily, I hope you're feeling better soon. It shows how many people are sitting around thinking, Neil chatting, yeah. I'm just wittering as usual. But yeah, it was really fun. I knew it would be a short one though, because I've got warm up food. But yeah, I'll do it another time. Leave myself more time to expand upon this fascinating thoughts. I have about a multitude of comments, topics, and I don't know why I use the word multitude. I think it's a bit of echolalia there. I just use long words because I like the sound of them. which people find alienating, particularly if they're neurotypical. Claire holds her channel too. I think you're talking about Claire Woodshed Theory. I hope not, but I've not heard from her for a while. I'm not friends with her. I just watched some of her videos and enjoyed them. She stopped it for good. I hope not. Oh my God, the Black Kitty too. Our friends Electric, yes, they probably are. I think you might be right, Lily. Well, you are, technically. You're my friends, but you know, electronic because you're online. I'll just stop with that one. Oh yeah, I'm just catching up the comments about the guest stars. My daughter and the cat, Pepsi. And Lisa's here, and I feel even worse that I have to go now because Lisa's well, one of my best mates online. What can I say? Um, she decided after 5 years to stop, but she left her videos up. Right, okay. So yeah, I didn't think she deleted the channel for good because I can see the subscriptions that I have, and I think I saw her quite recently on that long list. 99% of those channels that I've subscribed to are autism channels. But she's just having time out. That's fair enough. And 5 years, wow. Navin, you're going to switch off now. Thank you. Great to meet you. Thanks for following, watching. Sorry, I'm sounding really like a TV presenter now. I don't mean to. Yeah, it's all good fun. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for listening to me rattle on. I just felt like I just gave myself permission to do this. I felt like I needed it. I'm just really unhappy about so many things, and yeah, you got to see my daughter briefly. Her beautiful face. I'm bound to say that because I'm her father. What a bonus! And you get to see the cat as well. Um, oh, thank you, Aunt Mikey's place. Yeah, so it's a hangout. I like that hangout. We're hanging out. This is definitely like the equivalent of meeting at a converted garage or just a really cool bedroom or cafe or whatever. It's a hangout. That's exactly what this is. In fact, I should use that on a thumbnail. Hang out with me. Oh, that sounds a bit creepy. I'm overanalyzing because that's what I do because I'm autistic. Um, right. Yeah, thank you, Lisa. Sorry, I'm having to hop off. I've got to warm up some food. If you're wondering why I keep referring to warming up food, and you weren't here at the start, well, you're going to have to watch the recording to get the context for that hilarious reference that I keep making, which actually is not that hilarious. So thank you, Lily. Thank you for all the encouraging comments. It keeps me going because although I'm not, hovering over, the delete button, I do often think, just yeah, have a break from it, and I might do actually, but not this week. Probably not the week after that. Probably not the week after that. I will keep going, and your engagement. You're not pupils. You're not in my class. Your comments, involvement, praise, or not, challenges. Do ask me questions. Why do you think this? Why do you think that? Gets me out of bed in the morning. It really does. So I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1. I'm going to end stream, warm up some food. I'm going to have a glass of wine. So I say glass of wine. Glass of wine. Sorry, I'm not posh English. And Arlene, yeah, good luck with the prep for. I'm assuming you're doing some prep, because you're a professional, and it's going to be amazing. So if I'm not there on the 11th of April, other people will be. I'm going to look forward to the recording. It'll be my Saturday treat if I'm not there. So much prep, yeah, be brilliant. Arlene's got studio. She's got a brilliant set up there because she's a professional musician. Why wouldn't she? Basic steak is glass. In fairness, yeah, it's not ass, it's arse. on that educational and non-polite note, I'm going to leave you guys to it. Thank you so much. This has made my day. I mean it. Right, I'm going to do 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to have a shave. I just noticed in it. Oh, crikey. Yeah, I won't look so brutal next time. How vain am I? Right, 3, 2, 1, and I'll leave you in peace. Enjoy your evening, your morning. God, doesn't Orion say that? I think he does. I've nicked that from Orion. Anyway, whatever time of day, night, enjoy. Keep being you. Keep being nice. I can't end these things, can I? 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much. Bye.